Low percent. This unofficial category for Breath of the Wild is an amazing showcase of how much you can break this game. It uses memory storage to transfer flags through saves and beat the game with only the Bow of Light. At least that's what we thought. No understanding of the game's inventory due to the glitch known as Inventory Slot Transfer, or IST, has uncovered secrets about memory storage that we did not know before. To preface this, Low percent used multiple game files to transfer the Dark Beast flag to a new game. Memory storage makes the game think you're always watching a memory, so it can't create autosaves. This means when you start a new game with memory storage active, it keeps the flag set as long as you don't start a new game or close the game, since it's never able to unset the flags you had earlier. We do the any percent route up until Dark Beast, where we are able to return to the title screen and load a save. Since we don't have any autosaves, the game thinks we have no progress and starts a new game, but it keeps the flags we have set even though it doesn't keep the items. This allows us to go straight to the Dark Beast fight where the Bow of Light is waiting for us. Also, the rule set for low percent is a bit controversial, but this is it. The only items that are counted for the run are the items in your final file. The items you pick up in the first two files are only used to get memory storage and the Dark Beast flag, but as soon as you get to the third file, those items are gone. This rule set was chosen because the other option was using one file and spending hours killing the bosses using the bomb runes, which is boring. Now, how has low percent changed due to IST? First, people thought that since you can transfer items using IST, we would do that in low percent, but that is not used. If you were to transfer items, you would be forced to transfer the Sheikah Slate and Paraglider, which would be 3 items instead of 1. If you did another glitch, where you get rid of the Paraglider and the Sheikah Slate, but transfer the Bow of Light, this would not work either. Since IST only transfers items, not flags, we would need to pick up these items in addition to others anyways to beat the Great Plateau. While IST has not been implemented into the run, that doesn't mean it hasn't changed low percent. Prior to the discovery of IST, we thought that memory storage either transferred flags or items, but never both. We transferred flags in low percent, but casuals tend to transfer items to get the Bow of Light out of the Dark Beast fight. This glitch, known as item transfer, involved glitching out mcount in order to transfer items between files. Mcount is a value in the game used to determine the number of slots the game thinks all your items take up. In IST setups, we manipulate the mcount by doing something known as breaking slots. By removing an item slot from your inventory in 2 ways at once, this will lower the mcount by 2 even though it was 1 item you got rid of. So, if you have 5 mcount but break 1 slot, you actually go down to 4 mcount since the game thinks you have 1 less item slot than you actually do. There are 2 things you can do with mcount to modify the inventory. The first is to set the mcount to 0. When you start a new game, your mcount is automatically set to 0 because you should have no items in your inventory. When you break enough slots to equal the number of items in your inventory, this also sets the mcount to 0. This makes the game think you have no items, so there are no items visible in your inventory. But if you pick up a new item to increase your mcount, all the items will return. The other thing you can do is go into negative mcount. If you break more slots than you have inventory slots being used, the mcount goes negative. So if you have 5 items and break 7 slots, you'll have an mcount of -2. What's interesting about negative mcount is what happens when you pick up an item while having negative mcount. If you pick up an item and look for it in the inventory, it will not be shown. But if you go to the right of the key items tab, which is the furthest right tab, you'll see the item in a new additional inventory. Normally, when you're in positive mcount, or in the key items tab, you cannot move further right. But when you're in negative mcount, it unlocks the second inventory that should not be accessible. This second inventory is what drastically changed low percent. When you perform flag transfer using memory storage, we originally thought your items were completely removed. Due to the knowledge of the second inventory, we now know the items aren't gone, they're just stored in the second inventory. The thing is, when you go into the new file that you transfer the flags to, it's a new game, so the mcount is 0. This makes the items in the second inventory become invisible because the second inventory is not shown. If you go into negative mcount, the items won't be shown either. Because of this, once you pick up an item, the game restores itself to sanity and removes the items you had transferred. So, how do we know all this? Both the Trial of the Sword and Eventide Island have a unique property that strips Link of all his items, except key items. Once you beat or leave these places, you are given your items back. The Trial of the Sword cannot be entered without the Master Sword, and obtaining it will remove the second inventory. But if one of the flags you transferred was the Paraglider flag, you can leave the Great Plateau without picking up any items. For some strange reason, Eventide Island removes all your items, even those in the second inventory. This lets it restore all the items normally, putting them into the normal inventory once you complete the challenge or leave the island. Unfortunately, This completely invalidates the one item low percent run. We originally thought only flags were transferred, but this new information has shown that items are transferred as well, even if they are inaccessible at first. This makes the current low percent fake, but that's not the end of low percent. This route will likely still be done to show off the power of memory storage and flag transfer, even if it's not official. The real low percent probably won't be run by anyone, but here's how it will go. Grab the Sheikah Slate, get a shield, go to all 4 shrines and get all 5 runes and 4 spirit orbs. Get the paraglider, go to castle, fight all the bites in Calamity Ganon, then grab the Bow of Light and beat Dark Beast. Why won't this be run? Well, majority of the run will be spent exploding the blights in Calamity. Bombs do 10 damage per explosion, and we have 2 bomb runes to use. Each blight has 2,000 health, and Calamity has 8,000. If we do some math, that's 1.6 thousand bombs. If that's not enough, both phases of Thunderblight and Calamity's Phase 2 requires you to parry every attack before you can use your bombs. Basically, it will be a very long and boring run. It's unfortunate that low percent has become invalid due to IST, though it is interesting how the second inventory, which was completely unknown before, has become the sole reason for the run to be fake. If you want to watch the Breath of the Wild speedruns, I'm live on both Twitch and YouTube, so check that out. Thank you for watching. See ya.